You become what you believe. Your obstacles aren't walls, but hurdles that can be jumped with the right mindset. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. We can let circumstances rule us, or we can take charge and rule our lives from within. Happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls. The only way to do something in depth is to work hard. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. You were not created to just get by with an average, unrewarding, or unfulfilling life. God created you to leave your mark on this generation. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsion, habit, reason, passion, and desire. To be yourself is to be misunderstood. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. I never dreamt of success, I worked for it. Don't let your circumstances define you. Let your vision and your faith define you. All learning has an emotional base. Average is a failing formula. We are responsible for ourselves and our own happiness. You can't change the inevitable, but you can change yourself. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. True wealth is not about money. It's about options. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus but a molder of consensus. Make your own Bible. Select and collect all the words and sentences that in all your readings have been to you like the blast of a trumpet. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Begin with the end in mind. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. The 7 habits of highly effective people are actions that bring about personal and interpersonal effectiveness, and the habits are based on principles of effectiveness. To change your life, start immediately. Do it flamboyantly. No exceptions. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. The only way to do something in life is to start from somewhere and try to grow. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. To know, is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. Being able to quit things that don't work is integral to being a winner. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Death may be the greatest of all human blessings. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Money doesn't sleep, and neither should you. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. We do not learn, and that what we call learning is only a process of recollection. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Your only limit is the soulful vision of yourself. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Flaming enthusiasm, backed up by horse sense and persistence, is the quality that most frequently makes for success. Enlightened leadership is spiritual if we understand spirituality not as some kind of religious dogma or ideology but as the domain of awareness where we experience values like truth, goodness, beauty, love and compassion, and also intuition, creativity, insight and focused attention. It is never too late to be what you might have been. The power to question is the basis of all human progress. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. It is impossible to heal what you won't acknowledge. A dream doesn't become reality through magic, it takes sweat, determination and hard work. Legacy is greater than currency. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Success is not the key to happiness, happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. The will to persevere is often the difference between failure and success. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. It is not the length of life, but the depth. You cannot conceive the many without the one. I know that I am intelligent, because I know that I know nothing. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. You are the only problem you will ever have and you are the only solution. Change is inevitable, personal growth is always a personal decision. It is not living that matters, but living rightly. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. The enemy may have written you off, but God has not written you off. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Your only limit is the soulful vision of yourself. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Don't watch the clock, do what it does. Keep going. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. If you want to be a good saddler, saddle the worst horse, for if you can tame one, you can tame all. I have retired, but if there's anything that would kill me, it is to wake up in the morning not knowing what to do. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. You can't hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot see a target you do not have. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. Believe in your dreams and they may come true. Believe in yourself and they will come true. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Learn to enjoy every minute of your life. Be happy now. Don't wait for something outside of yourself to make you happy in the future. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We are all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Knowledge that is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. It is never too late to be what you might have been. You can have results or excuses, but not both. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The unexamined life is not worth living. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. It is not so much our friends' help that helps us as the confident knowledge that they will help us. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. It's not enough to have a dream. You have to have the courage to pursue it, to leap off the cliff of safety and security, and to embrace the unknown. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. The soul is the core of your being. It is eternal. It doesn't exist in space-time. It's a field of infinite possibilities, infinite creativity. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Believe in the power of your dreams, and they will guide you towards your purpose in life. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. The future is not something we enter. The future is something we create. The only thing I know is that I know nothing. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Love is a serious mental disease. It's not about perfect. It's about effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, that's where transformation happens. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win. Your value is not determined by what's in your bank account or what it says on your resume. It's determined by who you are as a person. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right. The purpose of education is to free the student from the tyranny of the present. To run away from trouble is a form of cowardice, and, while it is true that the suicide braves death, he does it not for some noble object but to escape some ill. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. The only way you will ever permanently take control of your financial life is to dig deep and fix the root problem. Success can be measured in many ways, but one way is through the happiness of those around you. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. The best way to predict the future is to create it. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. The only way to do great work is to be passionate about what you do. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The only way to have a friend is to be one. Adversity is the best teacher. My life is my message. The object of education is to teach us to love beauty. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The key to making money is to stay invested. Ideas are the source of all things. The wise are instructed by reason, average minds by experience, the stupid by necessity and the brute by instinct. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. Suffering is a moment of clarity, when you can see that your strategy isn't working. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. The true measure of a man is not how he behaves in moments of comfort and convenience, but how he stands at times of controversy and challenges. Make it, don't just dream it. What would be the use of immortality to a person who cannot use well a half an hour? Don't watch the clock, do what it does. Keep going. You control your future, your destiny. What you think about comes about. By recording your dreams and goals on paper, you set in motion the process of becoming the person you most want to be. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. An honest man is always a child. You can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want. Happiness is a continuation of happenings which are not resisted. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. The highest form of ignorance is when you reject something you don't know anything about. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. We make war that we may live in peace. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. You can't be who you're going to be and who you used to be at the same time. We become what we think about most of the time, and that's the strangest secret. Remember, no human condition is ever permanent. Then you will not be overjoyed in good fortune nor too scornful in misfortune. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. Your attitude is either the lock-on or the key to the door of your success. Your success is connected to your purpose. Your purpose must be revealed to you, and you must pursue it with passion. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is about letting go of another person's throat. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. Unsuccessful people are always asking, "What's in it for me?" Stop focusing on dumb shit. I have always believed that exercise is the key not only to physical health but to peace of mind. Success and happiness are not destinations, they are journeys. To succeed in your journey, you will need to be passionate, courageous, and creative. The power of thought is the light of knowledge, the power of will is the energy of character, the power of heart is love. Believe you can and you're halfway there. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Your greatness is limited only by the investments you make in yourself. Success is not overnight. It's when every day you get a little better than the day before. It all adds up. The only limits in our life are those we impose on ourselves. You must find the place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. The good man is the friend of all living things. The only good is knowledge and the only evil is ignorance. An unexamined life is a life without meaning. The only way to get what you really want is to let go of what you don't want. Let him that would move the world, first move himself. The best way to predict your future is to create it. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. The highest levels of performance come to people who are centered, intuitive, creative, and reflective, people who know to see a problem as an opportunity. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit. Live in the sunshine, swim the sea, drink the wild air. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Teamwork makes the dream work. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. Don't fight them. Just find a different way to stand. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. You are the only person on earth who can use your ability. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. You have to decide what your highest priorities are and have the courage to say no to other things. You only have control over 3 things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions you take. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. The most effective way to do it is to do it. Believe in yourself, take on your challenges, dig deep within yourself to conquer fears. Never let anyone bring you down. You got this. The secret of attraction is to love yourself. Attractive people judge neither themselves nor others. They are open to gestures of love. They think about love, and express their love in every action. Believe in yourself, take on your challenges, dig deep within yourself to conquer fears. Never let anyone bring you down. You got this. Chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. It's not about the goal. It's about growing to become the person that can accomplish that goal. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself that you can't achieve it. Thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. A goal without a plan is just a wish. To be conscious of being, you need to reclaim consciousness from the mind. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Happiness is not something ready-made, it comes from your own actions. Happiness is a good flow of life. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. I'm always perpetually out of my comfort zone. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Life is too short to be small. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. Let him who would move the world first move himself. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The only thing you can control is your thoughts and your actions. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The future depends on what you do today. You don't a Euro TMT have to get it perfect, you just have to get it going. Babies don't a Euro TMT walk the first time they try, but eventually they get it right. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else takes its place. What you focus on expands, and when you focus on the goodness in your life, you create more of it. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, so most people don't recognize them. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Success is not the result of spontaneous combustion. You must set yourself on fire. The secret to humor is surprise. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Success in life could be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of worthy goals. Success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.